They're here. I promise.
Now the last match for today. Let's welcome Crazy Raccoon!
Yeah, Crazy Raccoon, extremely talented, obviously up there for best in the world with Falcons, but they find themselves here in the lower bracket on enemy territory here, going up against, once again, for me, it's gotta be Lip who steps up.
Now, again and again and again, once again!
As good as this team is, and they are world class, they're also no strangers to being underdogs. But what happens when every person in this arena is hoping, praying for you to lead them to glory, for the hometown, for your home country? This is once again looking to reclaim a legacy they got so close to touching in previous eras of Overwatch, and they seem ready for it too.
It would be heartbreaking to see this team go out in the lower bracket now. Let's see what Jake and Johnny have to say. I'm sorry, I know the 5 a.m. delirium kind of got to me.
No worries, Ash. We are excited to be here, excited to be casting this banger of a match. Crazy Raccoon, and once again, who would have thought that we'd have to be sending one of these teams home right here, right now, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we would have been too surprised to see this matchup in the tournament, but it's the fact that Nightmare is waiting in the upper bracket. I think that is the surprising part of all of this. So yeah, perhaps one round earlier than we would have thought, but it's going to be a gigabanger, Jake.
It took a generational performance, frankly, from Zira and co to bring down Crazy Raccoon. And as much as we see them in the dark room, I mean, I just don't want to overrate any kind of external read of this team of players. I mean, these guys are such vets. They've been around at the top for a long time. Even Junbin and Max, relatively younger players alongside Heesang, they have been around. They have won a lot of tournaments. They have played championships time and time again. And so I think they're really, wise to how to play these long days. I honestly would rather be them. I would rather get a bit of a rest going into this game. You got to remember, for both of these teams, this is the third full match that they're playing today.
Yeah, that is something that we don't usually have in Overwatch. I mean, dating back to the Overwatch League, it was usually like max 2 matches per day. But the fact that Crazy Raccoon now, they've had to take 2 breaks in between 3 matches, that is something a little bit out of the usual. But I mean, like, let's keep it real. These guys play Overwatch all day long. And so the fact that you're doing it on stage is a little bit different, but I don't think it'll affect the performances too much.
I think the challenge is going to come in these small moments when, with the ban system involved, you're not going to be 100% prepared for every strategy you bring out. Teams need to be very quick on the uptake, making these adaptations.
Here we go.
And Crazy Raccoon on Ilios. I'm feeling a Winston ban here. I'm not going to lie to you. I think they would love to play the Wrecking Ball. I think that's a real ace up the sleeve of Crazy Raccoon. If they can take this game in a Wrecking Ball direction, I'm not sure, once again, can really keep up. I think they're going to need to...
the Pharah or something?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the Pharah historically has been fantastic for them with the Heesang Pharah, Lip on the Tracer. That has been a dominant look alongside the Wrecking Ball. It's going to be the Tracer ban. So maybe an even more aggressive assault on the ball comp, because I think now this puts you in a position of maybe playing like a Hazard, Genji, Sojourn for, once again, maybe something that's a little bit more confident for them. I actually like this Tracer ban. I think this probably is the #1 way to attack a ball comp.
Yeah, we actually don't see the Tracer ban too much, and especially you're thinking like Leave on the roster.
Yeah.
You don't want to remove Leave from that hero, but both once again and Crazy Raccoon, they have been teams that then have been opting for some Pharah gameplay, and especially some Pharah Sojourn gameplay. So maybe take it a bit slower here, give it the opportunity to poke down your opponent instead. But this is one of the strategies you can use to try to break down Crazy Raccoon. I feel like we haven't really seen a team with an answer so far for these Ilios performances from Crazy Raccoon and Team Falcons. So you're kind of searching for answers, and the Tracer ban, it's an interesting one.
Junbin is one of the best Wrecking Balls in the world, if not #1 with a bullet. So this is going to be a serious threat for them. A lot of pressure, especially on these flex DPS. Heesang versus Leave. The signature Tracer is off the field. Are they going to go for an Echo, a Genji, a Pharah? What's going to be that follow-up pick? And then, of course, I like that this was highlighted by Mitch in the walkouts. Lip versus Shy. Shy has been on a heater all tournament long. He has slowed down for no man. But Lip, he is no man. He is a gaming warlord here on this server.
Don't make him angry.
I still have faith in this guy. He is a shooter.
I do want to say before we get into this map as well that I think once again have been really prepared throughout this tournament. Especially you're thinking, right, they haven't had the same amount of practice probably as the other teams, right? But they come in really prepared. They have their compositions ready. They have the bands ready as well. And I want to give a shout out to a bit of an OG here. Yang Xiaolong, you might remember that name. That's back to like 2017, 2018, Miraculous Youngsters. Chengdu Hunters, the very first year they were in the Overwatch League in 2019. He was a player back then. Now coaching for this once again roster. And I think they've come in really prepared. So a Tracer ban, a little bit something out of the ordinary, but I've no doubt that once again, they have a complete game plan surrounding this ban.
Once I saw it, I actually really liked it immediately because I think this mitigates. I mean, I think Wrecking Ball relies more on the Tracer than other comps. No,
they're bringing out the
cap.
No.
Wait, no, but is it? But is it? Wait, hold on. Wait, the Hog Cassidy Sombra. If you're a Wrecking Ball player on the ladder, this is generational hatred against Wrecking Ball being channeled into a comp. I won't fully believe it just yet, but.
Okay,
there's a chance.
Jake, I know you had a Celsius, bro, but like they're not.
All right, if it were well, I would believe 100%.
Let's chill
out.
But
Lighthouse, maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe
there's
not.
the Diva. There's the Diva.
All right, they might bring it out on well. All right, stay locked in. Stay locked in.
But the Sombra is there from Leave, actually. It's going to roll out on this Sombra.
And Cass.
So, yeah.
But I'm worried. I mean, the DPS are going to have a field day from Crazy Raccoon. So much range poke. And Junmin hears the Sombra, knows what he's up against. Really can just play this one passive, hold the point. Lip is in a god spot on this high ground. How do you evict him from the spot?
Yeah, spread out. A lot of poke damage coming through here. Onto once again. And now, with the point unlocking, it's a game of who can capture the point, who can put pressure onto the point and force the opponent to make a move.
I mean, much more difficult for Gushui to cross this distance. Look, he has no armor, booped out to the open. Beautiful boops by Junmin, followed up instantly.
Nice.
Lip cuts down Chai, and a nade from Shu slams the door on once again. This comp fell flat.
And now you're already in a hole, right? Because are you realistically going to play Cassidy against all this poke off the Ashe, off the Pharah? Like, you don't really have the same amount of range on this Cassidy, Leave as well on the Sombra. Like, yeah, you can get some hacks in onto the ball, but you're not going to be able to survive that. You're going to have to like dive out, and then you don't have any point pressure. It's a really hard composition for once again to play here.
It's also Gushui on the D.Va. It's so defensive. It's so passive. Now they're going to try and make this rotation to the point with the help of the Brig. She's lost a lot of HP on the shield. He's saying, attack this rotate. You're caught in a very awkward spot in the corner. You have a hack on the Pharah, but can you actually follow it up? No, Lip is there, controlling that high ground, punishes the Sombra.
And this is what I'm talking about. Once again, they're struggling to just maintain the position on the point. They just get beaten down by this poke, and realistically, Crazy Raccoon, they're incredibly comfortable in this position.
They're looking so strong, and Junbin has just been untouchable, not minding at all this mega dump of CC that once again have been running. He's just been running circles around them on the Wrecking Ball, creating space, creating opportunities, and Shu, Lip, Heesang, firing on all cylinders. They want to continue on in this tournament, but of course, only one team can.
Going for a bit of a rotate here with Gushui, but even if Gushui gets the Nano here, like, it's so hard to get to a Brig and the Ana. Monk finds a pick up the Heesang. That's an opening that you really needed if you're once again.
The other four players from Crazy Raccoon, though, aren't going to give this one up. They still have a lot of HP. Lip onto the high ground, hacked by Sombra, healed by Shu. Nano onto Chorong, fighting on the point with Rally as well. But Junmin, just the tank and the two supports for Crazy Raccoon. This is a bridge too far. Heesang is back, has killed Mew. But Chorong being focused down, that counter nano onto Shy, just enough to overwhelm the point. Crazy Raccoon, both support ults deployed, and they still lose control, so this is a nice start for once again. They can maybe play the ranges a little bit closer now.
Yeah, it's a great pick from Monk that allows Leave as well to get the hack onto a target, and then you can follow up on that. Now you have the EMP. How are we going to utilize this? Jump is going to pressure point with the mine.
It's
so hard.
So massive. Sombra moved off. Does she have TP? No. In the pit. Into the drink. Gushui not even going to pop the self-destruct. Knows this one is not winnable. And once again, sent off the point. Packing Brig. Dying late. Could be the round. Is going to get saved. Sleep. Hack. They don't know. I don't think they have quite enough CC to burst jump. No, they do. Shy is back. Gets the cleanup. Leave has the EMP. Winnable for Crazy Raccoon, but remember, they'll be back quick on the spawn. Leave has quite a bit of time pressure to find this engage.
Yeah, you need to pressure point now before Junbin realistically gets back here. There's going to be poke damage coming in, but you should be able to survive this. EMP comes out here.
Shy traded, naded, dynamited down. Lip still alive, still fighting. The flip comes in for once again. They're feeling good, but they're lacking damage in this comp, in this situation. Asleep on a Junbin. Followed up with a nice boop, zoning him away. He can't escape in time.
This is good.
Monk clean on the Ana right now. He needs to keep this one up. Crazy Raccoon had quite a bit of time to charge up their ultimates, though. Once again, High Noon, D.Va Bomb. These are really difficult to deploy in this circumstance. They're going to need to rely on Monk's Nano.
This is actually a huge ultimate bank for once again. Crazy Raccoon, they're going to build towards that Nano, which will be a huge tool here for Crazy Raccoon, but once again in a great position here to actually close out the round.
Such a scary spot to be shy.
Oh,
Attack from all sides, lips on the high ground. Gouche pops that bomb, zones up in the air. Nano was lost there by Monk. Can't follow up on the Gouche. He takes some big headshots in the mech, losing armor. Mew extremely low now, and Junbin on the case, punishing that backline, forcing them into a defensive posture while the point gets capped. Crazy Raccoon, Bob, Nano on the cards. Surely this is too much for once again to come back.
The Bob, the Nano, so much damage coming through here. The rally's gonna go down, and once again, not gonna be able to contend for this first point. This Crazy Raccoon securing the first point. Beautiful play there, but still some signs of life there from once again claw themselves back into the first round, and it's a good sign at least.
Look, I'll be honest. When we went to Ilios, when I saw the Winston ban,
I mean, it's Ilios, Jake.
in my head, I chalked this one up for Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah.
So anything else than that is a win. That being said, you know, the Cassidy, the Sombra, these can punish a mortal Wrecking Ball player. But Junbin? Junbin? I mean, they shut him down a couple times this round, but they made so much opportunity for Lip and Heesang to get going and to really get into the round. Now Shy is going to take the mirror on the Ashe. I like his chances a lot more mirroring on the hit scan, playing that equal range. But once again, Crazy Raccoon on the Wrecking Ball comps, they're just so unpredictable. They're so hard to respond to. Leave on the Sombra, going to be tasked with mitigating some of the threat from that ball.
Yeah, I mean, this is Crazy Raccoon's signature composition. This is the composition that they've specialized over the course of a year now. And if you have any hopes of taking down Crazy Raccoon, realistically, you're going to have to be able to beat them at this signature composition.
Shu on the high ground, poking from range. Shy taking these sniper trades. Scary against a player like Shu. Heavy spam pressure, and they get the cleanup with the help of the Pharah. Shu's in pole position now, takes the high ground. Ultimate height, looks for nade into the backline. The connection onto Mew, followed up. Shu gets another. He's doing it himself, Johnny.
Unbelievable on a performance from Shu.
Oh no. Oh,
and the stagger.
Oh.
Got nowhere to go.
He doesn't even have mech charge. They don't have to kill him. Like, they could delay him really hard. He's gonna have to go off map. This is gonna be another 5%. And you really can't walk up without your diva. I mean, once again, are just gonna have to wait completely in the spawn. Way too dangerous to move forward. Mew goes over to the Lucio.
Wow.
Leave on the Pharah. Lucio is a wild hook here. And the Maga, I don't know, Johnny, it could work. They're gonna go full aggro. Maybe they can cross the distance, but there's gonna be so much disruption coming in. Now it's Junbin's time. A lot of these control skills are off the table. There's much less threat to deal with this Wrecking Ball, and Junbin is going crazy on them. Slam right here onto the Ashe. Follow-up damage coming in from range. They're harassed from all sides. Man, they can't even get to the point. Shu is on a heater on this map.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing the Lucio and Kiri, but then you're playing the poke with Shy on the Ashe, Leave on the far as well. Leave's gonna finally swap over to the Genji there. If you're gonna play with pace, like, I kind of understand it, right? Because again, beating Crazy Raccoon at their own game, that's a very difficult task. But now you're already in such a hole. Crazy Raccoon haven't even expended a single ultimate this round.
They're getting spawn camped right now, Johnny. They're getting dismantled.
We were looking for answers. They don't have it.
Playing a low mobility comp against this lineup,
Shy
Crazy
Widow,
Raccoon.
Shy Ashe.
You're just putting the ball in their court. Shu has dropped like 15 kills in this map. I mean, this is actually a heinous number of final blows for an Ana to have. I keep seeing his name in the feed. This is not normal.
He's just sitting on the pillar back there.
And
jumping around.
Once again, just scrambling for answers. Now it's the Diva. Well, good luck. You're up against the full stack of ultimates here for Crazy Raccoon. Junbin is slamming you at the spawn doors. You have zero control. It's the Lucio booping him around. He's got the minefield.
Here comes the
Look,
barrage.
you pop the rush in your own spawn. Crazy Raccoon are just smoking them on this first map.
Dude, this was not even close.
Wrap it
rest
up,
assured.
Johnny. Wrap it. I mean, all right. Yeah, okay.
Like we said, no one's got the answer for this
They were
game.
in a dark room, Johnny. They were low energy, Johnny. Surely the momentum from the last... No, man. Crazy Raccoon, Ilios, this is their home. This is where they cut their teeth. Once again, back to the drawing board, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is usually how the first map goes when you're playing Crazy Raccoon, when you're playing Team Falcons.
Ilios
they pick
is a cheat code.
Ilios.
Ilios is a cheat code, all right?
It's a cheat code. I'm kind of curious what would happen in a major tournament if we didn't have Ilios in the pool. Like, would that be a bit of a neutralizer? Like, the Ilios is just too strong for these Korean teams.
They're different on control, period. I'm going to say that. They are different on control. Ilios is like a special case where Shu is like, welcome to my domain. I mean, Shu's been doing this on Ilios for the better part of a decade. So, you know, you can just write this off for once again and get this out of your head. That's what you have to do.
Like literally, yeah.
Yeah, you have to just forget about this. We forfeited map 1. You know, we had a time delay. You know, that you gotta tell yourself a nice story here, because you don't want to think about what just happened. I mean, you got dismantled.
Yeah, I mean, you saw a Nightmare, though. Like, they were able to overcome the fact that they couldn't win Ilios, right? So, definitely something that you shouldn't take too much into account here. Crazy Raccoon, they're just too dominant on this map. But good news, Jake. Now the series can finally start. Now you get to pick your own map, and you can kind of tailor these compositions whichever way you would like it. Perhaps get Shu off the Ana. That would be my go-to move, personally. Just recognizing how good he is on that hero. It's just very impressive. Crazy Raccoon, how they're able to play these compositions. The Pharah, Heesang, one of the best Pharah players in the world. They just sit back and they just kind of like dissect you, pick you to pieces before you're even able to reach the point, put any kind of pressure on you. It's a masterclass, really.
Yeah, there are just so many layers to this squad, and trying to close distance against them. I feel that the only way I've seen Crazy Raccoon struggle is against incredible pace. And we've seen that from, once again, in the past, right? We have seen that they could bring it. Now it's once again's map pick. They have favored options like Suravasa and Esperanza, two maps that also play to that incredibly high-paced style. So I think that's probably what, once again, we'll want to do to try and change things up here in this series. You could go to something like a Circle Royale, where we've seen the Diva be a little bit more dominant. We have seen, once again, look strong in that style. It's a tough call, though, because, I mean, you know, this is Crazy Raccoon. They have Max, they have Junbin. They can go back and forth. Any kind of style you want to bring, they're going to match you on it.
I mean, I was kind of half joking when I said that this series can finally start. But going back to what Mitch said on the desk, talking about what kind of support compositions we would see, I do think that across all these tournaments, right, we're seeing mid-tournament adaptations every single time. Usually from these Korean teams, Crazy Raccoon, Team Falcons, they see what the meta is going into the tournament, and then when these tournament matches take place, they get a few different reads, they alter their compositions they're playing, and I feel like the adaptation of this tournament, Jake, has really been to increase the pace of the backline. Typically, we'd see a lot of Winston, Brigana, for example. That's what we saw going into this tournament. But now, this tournament, I feel like the Lucio Kiriko has been really effective. We even saw Nightmare when they beat Crazy Raccoons. Sometimes it was on the back of double speed, Lucio Juno even. So the more you can up the pace and just make a mess of everything, the less the Korean teams have been able to kind of like hang with that mess. That doesn't really make sense, because you assume they win the duels, for example, but Nightmare, Zero popped off. You know, they're really thriving in that kind of messy environment, right? And so if you're able to force Crazy Raccoon off the Brigana, maybe you have a bit of a better chance if you once again.
I do think the Lucio Kiri puts a little bit more emphasis on just the raw death matching from your supports. Like, it's such a game changer when your Lucio Kiri can win fights against Tracer. We saw Admiral from Nightmare on the Tracer, you know, or on the Lucio rather, winning some fights against the Tracer. You know, and I think for
who would have thought? Admiral against Heesang. Who do you got? And Admiral actually came out on top. Yeah.
Hey, Admiral has leveled up over the years to be this key performer. Now it's going to be Chorong versus Mew. We are going to Suravasa, another game type where you talk about that high pace. I think Lucio Kiri probably a little bit more dominant, but both these teams have incredible coaching staff, very intelligent, knowledgeable players. I think the way the ban phase plays out has to be crucially important. I think it was massively impactful on Ilios, and now going into Suravasa, what are going to be the next options? And they're going to respect ban Ball off the rip. Wow. I actually think this is a big mistake. I don't think Ball is good on this map. I don't think Crazy Raccoon would even play it. I feel like, is this like, they're overreacting to map 1, surely, Johnny?
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a protect ban as well. If you want to go something like the Winston, you want to force, like, for example, and prevent Crazy Raccoon from getting a tank ban in themselves, right? Crazy Raccoon going to ban the Pharah in turn, which, all right, fair enough. I'm actually really intrigued to see how this series develop in terms of composition as well, because one thing we didn't really talk about is the fact that once again, they beat Team Falcons in the Mauga composition as well. And if you're kind of like thinking about, you know, how Falcons historically have beat Crazy Raccoons, it has been in the Mauga composition. So if once again can beat Falcons in Mauga, they could probably beat Crazy Raccoon in Mauga as well, right? So that really brought out the question.
Transitive property,
yeah, I
Johnny,
know,
but I like the way you're cooking. I like what you're cooking. Maybe the Mauga is a type of style that could, you know, put
everything
Crazy
is worth
Raccoons on their
considering.
heels.
Yeah, you gotta think about it.
Yeah. We have seen, I think, Suravasa really go back and forth between like the anti-dive and the dive. You know, we've seen once again win into some of like those really tanky setups like that Falcons brought. But then we've also seen some teams, you know, make the Torb look just unbeatable, unkillable. That incredibly durable, greedy backline. Things like Brig Juno, man, it is rough trying to dive and break Juno. I mean, maybe once again can make that work. They are ridiculous on the Winston Tracer, but Big Juno are nigh unkillable for us mere mortals. So it's kind of incredible to watch one of the best Winston dive teams in the world try to take that matchup. Now both teams, I'm sure, finalizing their strategies, thinking about what's going to be the approach given these bans on Suravasa. I'm coming hoping we see some Winston. The Winston ban's off the table now for Crazy Raccoon.
I want to see the mirror, Jake.
Yeah.
I want to see the Winston, Sojourn, Tracer mirror in this matchup. But I think it's also worth asking, like, Jake, do you think that Crazy Raccoon, do you think they want to match that? Because I feel like we've gotten the sense so far this tournament as well. Crazy Raccoon, they kind of want to be one step ahead of their opponent. They want to make a counter pick if it is available to them. And at some points, it hasn't really worked at all. So maybe they're shying away from that mirror against once again, which has punished them so many times in the past. It's a bit of a gamble here from Crazy Raccoon. Which composition are you going to lean on? Because once again, we're so proficient at this Winston dive.
Well, we're going to have to see it right now. Loading into Suravasa. Let's see what the boys on Crazy Raccoon have cooked. I think we have a pretty confident guess about once again going to the Winston here. I think very, very likely. And CR right now loading up on the mirror. Lip almost certainly doing a little bit of trolling. But Lip versus Shy. Mitch hit on this on the desk. I think this is crucial. I think a big reason why, once again, have been so incredibly dominant is that Shy is, he's not even just an X factor. He is consistently finding kills when he shouldn't. And when he should, when he's got the OC on, man is on fire. Let's see if Lip can match it here on Suravasa. This is once again's pick. They need to equalize the series right here and right now, Johnny.
Here we go, dude. This is about to be an unbelievable map. Two of the best teams in the world going head to head. And Shu already finds a pick onto Monk.
What?
Across the point?
Okay, I didn't know he had it like that. I mean, I guess I did, but come on.
I guess we're resetting. Can we restart the map?
I mean, that was so fast. I actually think once again can regroup and fight.
Dude, he has 30% ult charge. The point hasn't even unlocked.
Dude, Shu is taking over. Shu lost to an NA team and he said, no more. We're coming back in the server.
Angry now. Crazy Raccoons, I'm here for it.
Takes some space on the point, bullied away, early cap for CR. Shu with some heavy damage pressure. Once again, reeling, trying to find something. Shy took another kunai to the face there. Man, Shu is on a heater. He's 60% to rush. This guy is out of control right now.
So look to leave here to open things up for once again. Heesang struggled in the Tracer duel against Zero when they lost 2 Nightmare. Who can open things up for once again? With Crazy Raccoon in control of the point.
Oh, nice move by Chorong onto the Winston. Gushui in a tough spot, moved away. Full control on the point for Crazy Raccoon. Sojourn tried to take space, now forced into a slide. Opportunity here for CR, but Junbin is slow. Has to stabilize. Heesang finds a pick on a Shy. Flanking Tracer being ignored because Heesang finding all the kills in the back line. Cap being attempted for a lead, but this is not gonna happen. The regroup comes in for Crazy Raccoon, and they are furiously beating down their foes right now. I mean, firing on all cylinders, barely even begins to describe it. That opening kill from Shu set the tone here, and once again, struggling to get back into it. The cap is coming through very soon. They need to hit an overtime touch. I think Leave has to get it. But
they have double support early. Realistically, so hard to once again here.
Yeah, here it comes. Pulse bomb.
Nice Susu.
Cleansed off. Gushui so low, very far from the primal. Lee forced to recall so many of these important skills coming down. Chorong rips the beat, even beast. Now Monk goes down in the chaos. Crazy Raccoon continuing to fight this one out, still relatively healthy. Lip under pressure, getting flanked and picked off. But Heesang and Junbin strike first. 3-2 fight. Gushui, no heals left. 93 to the primal, but just a little bit too far. Can't quite get it online. Junbin cleans up, and the touch does not come in time.
Insanely close duel there between both teams. Mew hits a crucial sound barrier as he built it up there, but Crazy Raccoon, they had a support ultimate to trade it out, and they controlled the first point. Now though, both teams with a Primal Rage and an Overclock here, jostling for position. You want to get that line of sight. Lip's gonna pop it. Tons of damage coming through.
OC comes out, blocked by the Winston for now. Pressure on Gushui, better primal for him. Shy responds as well with the OC into the backline. Now Gushui hunting for kills. HP dropping fast. The pressure from Crazy Raccoons is immense. Shu low, forced away. Gushui backing off, getting regrouped, but Shy finding the pick in the chaos onto Heesang. Advantage now for once again as they move forward. Starting to contest this point. Crazy Raccoon are going to let it go through, electing to regroup and fight 5-on-5. Ultimates off the board, just pulse bombs coming up soon.
So once again can sit back here. Pulse bombs are coming online as you say, but Leave goes down. That's a 5 versus 4 situation for Crazy Raccoon. Junbin is going crazy.
Junmin with 2, getting the pickoffs, looking for a cleanup. Once again, had control of the point, but it was only for a moment, getting 30% capture. Crazy Raccoon now taking point control, moving up to the choke points. Once again, find themselves in a tough spot on the retake with nothing but a pulse bomb to work with.
And Shu has already built another Kitsune Rush here, way faster than Monk. So this is a timing if you have it. Lift also finds a pick onto Shy. So that is going to settle the game down a little bit. More poke coming through here. Shouldn't overcommit too much here. See if they can hunt the Tracer.
The Raccoons are just oozing with confidence, rotating around the map with ease. Leave under pressure, flanked alone. Need some kind of a bailout. Can't get it, no recall. He's saying gets the cleanup. Now they're coming to fight, trying to get the cap, but I don't think they're going to have it in time. Junbin's here to stall.
Kitsune, they're investing.
Rush on the point, Junbin is low, can't get healed in time. Now Shu comes in, trying to bail him out. He's saying pulse bomb goes wide. Beat on the point for once again. Shy finds Junbin. Chorong, too low, can't quite get this beat off. And once again,
Shy
stabilizing for the moment. Just a cap delay now for Crazy Raccoon. He's saying, dying on the point. Stable, consistent play for Crazy Raccoon. And in the end, it goes the way of once again, but that beat is costly. Now retake available for Crazy Raccoon with the beat advantage.
Yeah, that is a crucial point actually. Double support ultimate committed for once again. And yes, you get control of the point, but Crazy Raccoon, they just need one fight here. OC, Sound Barrier, they're in a great position to cap this second point out. Once again, actually, need to come up with a hero play.
Early beat from Chorong, not taking any risks, diving straight in. Shy has no second slide. In the focus fire now, Junbin gets the cleanup. Lip is traded, so this is still a winnable fight for once again. Gushue getting close to the primal. He's already found that Kiriko, and onto the point now, pressuring it. 3-on-3. Gushue has primal. You can guarantee he's going to recommit here. Once again, they won't give this one up easy. Here's the primal. Now onto the point. Tracer, Lucio, looking for kills. Raccoons find the flip in the chaos. Junbin has a primal of his own. And Gushue, so far, not connected with the primal blade. Not able to get these finished kills. Still committed, still
diving stuck here now.
Lip's got the OC, though. They cut him to pieces. The point's in control for Raccoons. Junbin with the primal, stabilizing. Unkillable now. Once again, can you even recommit? No, the point goes the way of the Raccoons. Up 2-0 on Surabasa, and so far there are no answers for your Chinese heroes.
Gushue was one step too far, overcommitted after the primal with his reset of the leap, and his teammates weren't there to back him up. You lose your Winston there. You have no space. You can't contest a point. You give it up. Once again, even though they have the overclock, the pulse bomb, without the Winston to set you up, you just have to forfeit that point, and now you're gonna have to try and reverse sweep Surabasa here. Oh, the aggression from Crazy Raccoon.
Finds one, Lip traded out, but Sojourns are off the field. Crazy Raccoon happy to fight on low numbers. He's saying on the Tracer, locked on, crushing through these players one by one. Point is open, and no sooner Crazy Raccoon stepping onto the cap. Once again, are bleeding out here on stage with the hometown crowd behind them. It is quiet in the venue right now, Johnny.
Crazy Raccoon demoted to the lower bracket, and this is the time they need Heesang to step up to the plate. People have questioned his Tracer play.
Shy.
And he goes down. 5 versus 4 now once again. This is the opening they needed. They have the ultimates too.
Just Tracer picks, not enough. Commitment from Crazy Raccoon, 4v5. Shy with the OC, walking up confidently. Double support out from Crazy Raccoon. Responding in kind is Mew with the better beat. In position now for the flip. CR looking to fall back, looking to kite this. Everyone is low on the team. Junbin doesn't have the heal resources with the rest of his back line. Forced away. Chorong dancing off the point, trying to create what space and time that he can. Raccoon still holding this point. They're happy to stall this one out. They're happy to delay the fight. Once again, getting the job done, but it's expensive. It's costly. They have control of the point for now, but they cannot give this one up. 2-0 against them.
And Crazy Raccoon, they're happy to, you know, do these old trades. They're happy to make it expensive for once again. So yes, again, you forfeit the point, but now, once again, they only have the primal. Gushue, can he come up with a big moment here for his team?
He needs to. Primal already taking so much damage. The focus fire from Crazy Raccoon, they saw this one coming a mile away.
They want no business, dude.
This is no spring chicken. This is the Crazy Raccoon. Now they're regrouping, pushing in. Damage followed by Gushue, cleans up Lip. CR, are you going to recommit on this? Junbin's already on point. Maybe they're going to go for it here. He does have that primal advantage. Here he comes into the backline. Trades onto Shy. Pressure on to Leave. Struggling, trying to hold that recall as long as he can. Junbin falling back to the team. Nice escape from Gushue, but he's getting juggled. Getting pressure. The follow-up isn't there from Heesang. Gushue low, getting healed up though. Seemed to have stabilized for the moment, but it cost Leave his life. Once again, half the fall off. The Crazy Raccoon cruising to a potential 2-0 lead in the series. They're continuing to chase now deeper and deeper, closer to this once again spawn.
You should have a reset here, 80%. Crazy Raccoon, they're going to hold close here. I wouldn't be surprised to see early investments as well, making it difficult for once again to touch. Someone's gonna have to touch here. Already contesting Leave. The triple blink is not gonna be enough.
They need a touch from Winston. Lip has OC. Here he is on point. Gushue has no primal. Getting focus fire. Got the beat, but still under massive pressure. The follow-up damage is immense. Crazy Raccoon. They've knocked out the tank for once again. Lip finds his second, and he's cleaning their clock with this overclock, completely wiping them off the point. Crazy Raccoon up 2-0 in the series already. Johnny, this was supposed to be close.
Once again, getting absolutely crushed by Crazy Raccoon. And just when we thought once again, this might be their tournament, they look red hot playing this Winston dive. Or Crazy Raccoon put them right back in their place.
Ice in the veins for Crazy Raccoon right
That
now.
was insane.
Just another day at the office. Backs against the wall, facing elimination. This means nothing to them. Home crowd advantage, good luck. And once again, they are reeling. This was their comp. This was their meta. This is their year to show what Chinese Overwatch can do. But Crazy Raccoons, there's no mercy. They're not here for the storylines. They're here for the trophy, Johnny. And they've been knocked down to the lower bracket. They don't like that so much.
That was the best we've seen Crazy Raccoon play all tournament long. Shu just firing an alternate to the backline, got that early pick. Lip with like the 4Ks, 5Ks. Heesang was popping off in the Tracer as well. That is the kind of championship quality we wanted to see from Crazy Raccoon, and why we were so surprised to see Nightmare overcome them in the winner's bracket. But if Crazy Raccoon play like this, man, they could make a big run here in the lower bracket.
Dude, if Crazy Raccoon get a rematch against Nightmare,
they're gonna be angry.
That's gonna be serious money. And we talked about Heesang struggling maybe in that series against Nightmare. This was a different animal today on the Tracer. He was fearsome. And I feel like we have to talk about Shu. I mean, what a ridiculous difference maker here on this map and the last. I mean, we can expect great things from Shu, but when he comes out and he's not just supporting, not just doing his job to perfection, landing all of his skills as he should, but he's fragging. I mean, you would just have an extra DPS on the server when Shu's playing like this. That is just too much to overcome for once again. I mean, once again, it's been the team to put so many squads in the back foot, to pressure them, to make them make mistakes in the clutch. But it felt like Crazy Raccoon were never really in that spot. I mean, frankly, none of these 3 points was all that close. Like, we didn't even really get down to like the wire overtime fights that some teams have forced against Crazy Raccoon. Once again, you got another map pick. Maybe we're going to Esperanza again. That's been the comfort spot for them. I wouldn't hate the pick theoretically, but Crazy Raccoon have showed they can beat you at your best. That is devastating from a mental perspective.
It's really difficult. I mean, you could theorize about bringing Circuit Real into the mix. They have played that Diva composition with Ligue, but
yeah, it's a change up. You force Max to come in.
It's a change up, yeah, but at the same time, though, like we've seen Crazy Raccoon, they can match those kind of compositions. I just don't think that that is once again's favorite composition. I would much rather see them go down playing the dive than playing the Diva instead, and bringing out the Mei and Mew rallying on the Brig. I'd much rather see them go to something like an Esperanza instead, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. It's going to be on the pressure for them. What do they want to stake their tournament life on the line? I'm kind of with you, Johnny. I think there's an argument for the Winston, but based on how the last couple maps went, I think maybe you do need to hit that big red button. Mitch talked about it. Somebody's got to blink first, but come on. I mean, it's pretty clear who it's going to be in this series. It's got to be once again. There's no way you can take those two.
You go Runasapa here?
Maybe the Mauga on Runasapi.
That could be.
You beat Falcons with it. But
you blink first, but you go Mauga.
Look, Johnny, I'm worried. I mean, just like the eye test on this series is that we have moved beyond compositions. We have moved beyond picks and
beyond
bans
compositions.
And
Look, I know it's 6 a.m., but like you're cooking.
No, but just like, just what Crazy Raccoon is doing to them on the server. They're getting worked over in the deathmatch. They're not even getting into the fights. I mean, Ilios was a massacre. Like, that was not competitive. That was like some of my pubs, I'm like, are they smurfing? Like, what's going on here?
Again, it was Ilios, though. I don't want to put too much stock in that, but I'm more surprised by the performance on Surabasa, though, because Leave was nowhere to be seen. Shy didn't really have any moments, and that's not faulting them as individuals, but really the tempo that Crazy Raccoon set, once again, never really got comfortable in the matchup at all. So just being thrown off your game like that, maybe you do justify changing up the pace here and playing out some different kind of heroes to get back into the game. Leave just didn't bring those moments that we're accustomed to seeing him do so far.
And this is where I start to wonder about, you know, the mental tenacity of these, once again, players. They haven't had that same level of experience in the last couple years competitively, where Crazy Raccoon have been tested. They have been tried. They have been forced to the lower bracket before. They have had to make comebacks against the likes of Falcons. And so I think it's fair to say that they look unfazed right now by their position in this tournament. Once again, struggling, flailing in this series. They are going to take us to Route 66.
Wow.
So it's a bit of a
Lucio
change-up, right? Historically, they have picked Esperanza in this spot. The Lucio ban, surprising with how much Lucio Curie has been played in the series.
Yeah.
But maybe this stabilizes things. Mew wants to give a shot for the Brig. Crazy Raccoon, responsive ban on the Sojourn. All right, this is low-key, this is kind of crazy because now I'm wondering, do you even play a hit scan? I mean, Route 66 is a little bit of an uncomfortable map for hit scan. Sojourn bridges that gap by having such incredible mobility that you can be played as this like quasi-diver. But now I'm wondering, does this take us in like a Tracer Genji direction, you know, a Tracer Echo direction? I'm really curious. Cassidy could just end up being the go-to, or Ashe, but I think in a super high-paced comp, sometimes those heroes can struggle.
Yeah, I don't really see the vision, honestly. I think it's hard to make the Cassidy work in these kind of situations here. Maybe I'm leaning more like Juno Brig here almost, Jake. It's shying away from these
like
dive compositions and maybe trying to play some kind of brawl here. But again, it's Route 66. There's some mediocre high grounds you want to reach, of course. Want to make sure you pick a tank hero that can access those. Really looking forward to see what they once again are cooking here with this pretty unique Lucio ban here. What do they have in mind?
I mean, the Brig is almost a foregone conclusion. The big question for me is, will it be an Ana or a Juno? For Crazy Raccoon, I mean, the way she was playing, I'm kind of feeling the Ana, right? Like, I mean, I think the Brig Juno is actually not really the best comp for Crazy Raccoon because they're so strong when she was on a true playmaker. Juno is not that hero. Brig is not that hero. These are like incredibly stable, durable backliners, but I don't think it necessarily suits the strengths for Crazy Raccoon. So I think maybe that's the vision for a team like, once again, that loves that team play. They love that synchronized aggression. Take the game a little bit out of the hands of the individuals, put it in the collective. But I mean, look at the smiles on Crazy Raccoon. They're starting to have a little bit of fun. They're starting to feel...
That is menacing. Lip just laughing going into map 3. I'm like
casual
scared.
Smile, vibe, chatting with you, saying, nice pulse bombs last map, bro. See if you can get more kills than me, bro. I mean, come on.
Dude, we're having dinner after this. Where are we going?
Like, I mean, in these two maps go that way. They're two extremely dominant games on stage facing elimination. You are feeling the adrenaline for Crazy Raccoon. You are tasting victory. For once again, the crowd has been so loud all tournament long. You have been giving them so many things to get excited about, and now nothing. That is a terrifying place to be. It takes absurd mental fortitude for, once again, to be able to pull this back together. They need some energy from the crowd. They need to find somebody, a hero, to rise up in this moment of desperation. But it feels like maybe too little too late. Crazy Raccoon on the verge of eliminating the last Chinese team here in Hangzhou.
Yeah, honestly, once again, they just need a moment, right? Like something to just spark a fire here. No pun intended. Once again, they need something to just like rally the troops, because they don't really have an answer to what Crazy Raccoon are throwing their way.
It's going to be Jinbin and Gushui. No tank subs. Doubling down on the Winston.
Wow.
And a classic look on Route 66, right? But Brig Ana, I mean, Shu is going to be smiling all the way to the bank with this one. Shy going to go with the Cassidy on the defense. Curious to see what Lip's response is. I feel like the Widow, the Ashe, even a Hanzo could be strong choices. See what the swap ends up being. It's going to be the Cass Mirror.
Okay.
Okay. The Cassidys come out, and I think Lip going to be feeling good about this with how ridiculously strong Shy has often been on the Sojourn. It's old Overwatch here. Classic Winston on a Brig. Let's see what the Cassidys can do. The Tracers are going to be under such immense pressure here with the threat of that flashbang.
Crazy Raccoon looking for an opening for now. Nice shots from Shy here.
Talk about a hero, but under pressure. Shu as well, firing up onto this high ground. Headshot connections aren't coming in just yet. Cart moving little by little. The move up by Chorong. He walked up too far though, punished by the dive. Once again, many players low. Crazy Raccoon always keeps fighting. Down a player is not enough to stifle them, but they will be cowed for a moment now. The regroup for, once again, stabilizing the HP of these players. Should have been forced out. But yeah, it's quite a quick nano for both teams. These Winston dives are going to be crucial. Heesang has done remarkable damage so far. 80% to a pulse bomb. This may be coming sooner than the defenders expect.
Taking it real slow here. Just trading down.
Huge dive from Shu. Come on. Sleep perfect on the Winston. 0 mistakes. This guy is locked in. They do take a nade on that backline. Where's the follow-up? Heesang finds a connection. Nano onto Chorong before Shu goes down. That's enabling Chorong to stay alive, to continue providing the support for this team. And that's going to allow Crazy Raccoon to continue rolling this card forward.
That's all you need in these compositions. A huge biotic grenade from Shu opens the door for Crazy Raccoon. The sleep dart onto Gushue. And Heesang cleans it up with the post bomb. Recontest here from once again. They have a Deadeye as well to make some space here. Need to build the rally to sustain on the point though.
Big pressure on Junbin.
Another nade!
Here's the high turn from Lip, trying to zone off this card. Shy looking for targets on the point. Both teams tentative, slowing things down. Primal Rage comes up first for Junbin. Where's he going to deploy it? Mew instantly forced into a rally. Chorong is low, needs to stabilize, needs to get that connection. There it comes. Mew is extremely low, forced out of the fight with the rally.
Shu.
Can't get value. High Noon Channel putting big damage now onto this main tank. Junbin is low, naded, forced out, 1 HP. Surely he can't. No, he's out. He's escaped into the waiting arms of Shu, who heals him back up, enabling Crazy Raccoon to potentially continue this offense. Players low on both sides. Junbin surely doesn't have the HP to get this done, but the flip came in the chaos, and Crazy Raccoon laughing at their opponent's misfortune. A little bit of schadenfreude here. Feeling good going into this final map, and once again, I mean, that's devastating. That was a spot where you could have held.
Devastating indeed. The rally came through. They sustained on the point for so long there, under so much pressure from Shu. And once again, it looked like they were able to claw themselves back onto that first point, but the cap comes through, like you said. And now Crazy Raccoon with lots of positioning here. Another stick.
Roll. I mean, so sick from Heesang. Waits out the roll for the Cassidy, so there's no counterplay. Now Heesang on the flank, forcing heavy response. Gushue in with the Primal, says, fine, I'll do it myself. He's here on the point, but the massive pressure on his health pool. He's incredibly low. Double jump, escaping out to the high ground for the moment. Nano onto Mew, just defensive, just stabilizing the position. No offensive threat. Crazy Raccoon dominating on the server right here. And once again, we're all out of gas. It's only Leave with the pulse bomb, standing between Crazy Raccoon and their undeniable victory here.
Jumping with the Nono.
Into the backline, Monk's already down. Defenseless, Brig, low, misses the flail, cleaned up by Junbin. Perfect Winston gameplay right now from your Korean heroes. Crazy Raccoon up in this fight. Gushue and Leave trying to clutch this one out, but so difficult. Down number, so difficult facing off against Shu.
3 versus 2. Gushue is in the cave here, actually.
He's
Gets
slapped
slapped by Shu. Surely he's gonna get punished here. Not
Shu
close to the Primal, so
Shu is nearly 100% sleep accuracy in this map. I mean, ridiculous stuff. This is so oppressive to play against. And Junbin, he has the Primal. Cassidy drops down low. Rally as well, defending against Junbin. High Noon, surely this is enough to deal with the Winston.
Oh!
High Noon connects onto Heesang, who already trades onto Mew. Slip onto Junbin, but here's the rally on
Big rally.
Swarming over them, the nade just barely saves Shy, but in the bubble, he cannot get the heals. Junbin falls in the chaos, so does Gushue. It's a low numbers engagement, but Chorong, Shu with 2 is just fighting up. The supports are eating them alive once again, cannot come to the point. And 3 minutes on the clock, pushing into third. It is a masterclass on Route 66. Shu said, you let me play Ana in the elimination map, you fools.
Shu is just absolutely out of his mind right now. Playing some of his best Overwatch on his signature hero. And once again, they still haven't found an answer really for Crazy Raccoon to set them back. Leave has had some moments so far this is, oh my god, what a nade,
The bounce nade gets shot in you. That was a 4-man nade using the bounces. Primal, you've got, all right,
he ran out of abilities.
Solo Primal on Shu.
He had no more.
Respect it. And he's gonna get more cleanup after the fact as well. Gushue chasing to the spawn door. Chorong is low. The Primal Blade still here, still a threat. Gushue, you cannot ignore this Winston. You cannot ignore the potential that he has. Crazy Raccoon regrouping now off the spawn. Still 2:30 on the clock. A lot for this offense to work with.
Shu has the Nono here. Probably apply it onto Junbin here to take some room. Leave with the pulse bomb. Can he find a pick? Which is dealing a lot of damage here, actually. Big nade from Monk before he goes down, but it's not going to be enough. Crazy Raccoon coming up with another fight win here, and Monk expended that Nano boost as well. That's this crucial Nano boost, who is so powerful in these type of compositions. Now Crazy Raccoon able to take the high ground. one last kind of engagement here on this third point. This Deadeye could be lethal as well. Junbin holding close. This Primal could be devastating.
Rally as well, available for Chorong. Very, very soon. Guxue is low. Naded, purple.
Huge
Shu
pick.
sleeps to High Noon. Already found the connection though onto Junbin. So Crazy Raccoon maybe electing to slow things down. Wait for that Winston. Wait for the Primal Rage. Discretion the better part of Valor for the moment. Lift falls back, respecting the threat of that pick. But the ultimate advantage firmly in favor of the Raccoons. Primal Rage for Junbin could be the difference maker. Mew, very close to that rally, needs to bridge the gap. This will be the crucial tool. Nade onto Lip, connects onto Shu as well, but there's no follow-up, and here's Mug. Low, flanked,
You love the
pressure from all
rally.
sides. Rally stabilizing, but it's not enough. Crazy Raccoon, up 5 versus 2, 5 versus 1. Shy stands alone. He's got no shot in this fight. And capping Route 66 with 1 minute and 5 seconds. This is done, Johnny, once again. Surely a mountain even too tall for them to climb.
Oh my god. Shu is popping off on the Ana. Crazy Raccoon are coasting. And once again, they didn't even really get an opportunity to combat that final fight. They died with ultimates. Crazy Raccoon just storming ahead, capping out Route 66, which rarely happens, Jake. Very rarely do we see go to overtime here on Route 66. It's just a demonstration of their dominance so far.
We bet the house on Shu right now. We bet the house. We bet the kids' college tuition. We bet it all, man. Shu is not losing this game. This guy is doing different things on support. It's not healer, bro. It is not healer. If you watch what Shu is doing in this game.
This is one of the most impressive player of the match performances I've ever seen.
Come on, we all know.
Like the series is not even over. I'm like, oh, it's probably Shu, right?
We all know.
It's.
I mean, he's done in a series what it takes some players a career to achieve. Absurd performances from the Raccoons, who are looking now to book their ticket, surviving in that lower bracket. The demons in the lower bracket waiting below to claim anyone who dare fall. And now it's once again on the verge of defeat. Here's the crowd though, rising up, trying to insert a little bit of energy, pour some oil on this Chinese squad as they look to represent their country, their nation in Overwatch. They didn't get much chance to compete this year, but here they are, backs against the wall, trying to show that they still have what it takes to fight back.
Very important attack here on Route 64 once again to keep themselves alive in this tournament in front of their home crowd.
No, Junbin already found one. Crazy Raccoon, opportunity to get aggressive. They could turn this into a spawn camp if they want to. Lip on the Ash as well, range advantage. Once again struggling, falling at the last hurdle. Crazy Raccoon cleaning up, opportunity to move forward. If Lip takes his forward high ground position, this is a difficult spawn camp to break. Shy, gonna go over to the Ash, needs to take the duel. At this point, you cannot give Crazy Raccoon a comp advantage. They don't even need it. If you give that to them, this is all over.
This is so nasty from Crazy Raccoon. You put pressure on them early, forcing once again to expend abilities, resources, to even get this high ground. Sleep onto Guxue, and now again, you can just apply the pressure, get damage in.
They're so clean though, Johnny. They're not even up anything for free, holding this corner. They've held it 1,000 times before. They have every advantage here on the defense, but once again, has been a team to throw the nade onto Shy. He's gone. Beautiful sleep on the Winston. Every single time. You cannot touch this guy. The Terminator on the Ana.
Now you've got the Nanos as well. 1 minute 30 already gone for once again, and here comes the ultimates for Crazy Raccoon. It's not going to get easier.
Oh man, you need it to get a little bit easier though, let's be real, Johnny, because this is not looking good. Crazy Raccoon storming over their opponents, and now caught in the fight. Backliners! Shu, are you kidding me? Stop it! This is show some mercy. There's no mercy. There's no mercy to be had in the server, Johnny. There is only blood for the blood god, and Shu, he yet thirsts for more.
All right, we used one Bionade and one rally. And we wasted the entire team.
They don't have nade. Quick reset. They use nade.
They use nade. That's what we're tracking these days. Oh,
Thor
boy.
ults for the Raccoons. Every tool they would need in the book. And look at this forward position from Junbin. So difficult to evict. Nade comes in. It still finds two. Every single time. Barista, he doesn't even see them.
All right, they used nade. This is our time.
Counter nade under Shu. Shu is low. Is there follow-up? No. Tracer's being marked. He's saying forces the recall, wins the Tracer fight in the flank. Bob, please do something. We need you to do something, but he's doing nothing, Johnny.
Realistically, this is on Gushui now. You have the primal rage.
Shu again!
They done with Shu. They have a chance, Jake.
All right, Chorong goes down. That's the backline for Crazy Raccoon. Junbin found a kill with the primal before the sleep could come in. Junbin and Heesang continuing to fight this one out. Gushui extremely low, forced all the way back to the spawn, forced to the doors to get a reheal. Their whole team is dead and they're still spawn camping, Johnny. This is against the rules.
Wow. The payload just passed the gate, Jake. They got another fight coming. Shu has the nano-boost here. It's a great fight win for once again. But this is last fight territory now. 40 seconds on the timer. You have a rally coming up on a nano as well. But Shu has the high ground. Shu has the nano-boost. And Shu can close out the series right here, right now.
Ultimate advantage, though, for once again. Nade now sent back the other way. Monk is traded. Both Anas off the field. Junbin finds his second. So does Gushui. No support, no kills left in the fight. It's a true deathmatch now. But Heesang and Liv defeat their counterparts. And it's all Crazy Raccoon in the feed. Once again, hopeless in this series. Gushui deep in the enemy spawn.
Who's gonna push?
Desperation.
The Tracer's dead.
So difficult here. He's gonna try to deny the honor, but Chorong is here to bail him out. And Gushui just trying to stay alive, just trying to touch. Is anyone there?
There's no toucher.
They're not. Crazy Raccoon, send the Chinese hope home. The crowd is silent, but Crazy Raccoon, the laughter filling the arena. It's an easy dub for them, staying alive here in the clash, continuing on in the tournament, and they are playing with vengeance right now, Johnny. This is some of the best I have ever seen from Shu, and that guy, he's put on some good performances before.
The demise of Crazy Raccoon was greatly exaggerated. What a ruse. Come out swinging in the lower bracket, dominating in the other two series here today, and they just dispense of once again in spectacular fashion. That is one of the best Ana series I've ever seen. Shu with an absolute masterclass on his signature hero. I just can't believe what I witnessed, Jake. I thought this series would be close.
Me too.
It was not even
like,
remotely
look, we're gonna have a great, we're gonna have a banger to end the night.
Oh,
I mean, to be fair, we did get a banger from Shu. I mean, the rest of the team played perfectly as well. Like, the follow-up was always there. But, I mean, every time, Shu just naded the enemy team. He doesn't nade himself. At some point in that series, he's like, I'll die.
That was ridiculous.
But I'm taking 3 of you with me. Like, you can kill me, but it's going to cost you your 3 lives. And it's just not good enough. On top of that, Lip won a lot of those hit schedules. We talked about, is Shy going to level up? Is Shy going to take over the server? No, it was Lip. It was Heesang for the DPS. Incredible performances from them. And for this Crazy Raccoon team, a massive comeback from a difficult loss earlier in the day. They stay alive in the tournament. Let's send this over to the desk and get their breakdown here on this incredible match.
Hey, it wouldn't be an Overwatch major without 2 Korean teams in the top 3. Heartbreak City, though, for the likes of once again. This does not look like the squad that took Falcons the distance earlier today.
No, I mean, they got annihilated. I know I talked, Jake kept saying, Mitch talking about Shy versus Lip. Hey, you can actually take the credit for that because it was really
hanging for my liking, but that's
the gap between Shu and not even Monk, just the rest of the supports in the lobby, just like even his own
I'm
team.
in trouble for
it's
this.
Just insane.
I called Lip getting gapped badly by Shy. I was like not even subtle about it. I wasn't even nice about it. That did not happen at all.
There wasn't even the chance of it happening, right?
No.
I mean, just the support play from Crazy Raccoon was so good that regardless of what kind of happened on the other side, like, Shy and Lieb had moments, same with Gushui, but it was inevitable what the result would be.
You have to be ready for this against Crazy Raccoon. When we get one of those control maps to start the series, they are going to ban Winston. They are going to set things up for Junbin to play ball. They do it all the time. And now, you know this coming in, and you also know that Winston is banned before you make substitutions. You still decide to put Gushui in at the start of the series, forcing him to play Diva. Bro, Diva!
Yeah.
What? I don't know what the other option is supposed to be there, but this is an undeniable MVP here for Shu. The guys has given us some of the most incredible flex support plays in Overwatch history. Today is just a collection of them. It's so hard to see any one of them stand out. This guy is insane.
It is insane. It is insane. Like, not even just the Ana. He had a hot start on the Kiriko, over on Surabasa as well. And it's just shocking, I think, that we saw the idea that once again Hannah was banning out that Lucio on our last map. But the fact that not a single Ana ban came out from this team this series is insane to me.
Considering they didn't really want to play it themselves. I mean, the last series that we did, right?
They just played
the game. Yeah, they just played Lucio Kiri the entire time. And I mean, when you have a player that's that good on that hero, like I think Shu's probably the best Ana we've ever had, just in history. And then I think also now you start to like observe some of the other Anas in history, and the gap is like
I just think
pretty
it's
large
nuts.
at this
They
point.
banned Ball and Surabasa.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of map where like you could just happily take Winston into it, and you've got Junbin on the Winston. That's a great map to like, you know, try and target maybe some of those supports. Maybe, you know, try and take, you know, Shu off guard. But again, he can flex to Kiriko. There's so many options.
It almost seemed like once again, like they kind of they thought too deep into the ban process there, where it was like, we can, you know, get rid of the ball. It's like no, like we know that what they're gonna do.
I mean, they just got smacked in the face with reality. I think we all did. You know, seeing Crazy Raccoon struggle the way that they have, falling down to this lower bracket. But, you know, you don't have to think back too far to realize how like terrifying this team can be. And I think they've been off balance this tournament, basically up until this point now. Talked about, you know, them sitting in the dark room, kind of collecting themselves here. I think like having the break today definitely helped them, but it's kind of confirmation bias, you know, if I'm honest with you. But they're now in a position to look back towards Falcons, look back towards these teams and say, hey, they're spending a lot more time in the lower bracket than they probably